What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? I'm gonna give y'all a few seconds to get up in here. I'm gonna give y'all a little elevator music until some more people get in. We want to talk about this young lady right here. It might blow your mind and it may not blow your mind. We will see. Let me give y'all some elevator music. What up, big homie? How you doing? Give y'all some elevator music until we get this shit going. Until we get enough people up in here. We need some people up in here. Find y'all some elevator music. Or maybe I want some, that's how we do it. Yeah. Give y'all a few minutes to get up here. Wow, y'all kind of slow coming up in here tonight. Yeah. But we gonna get it. Get y'all up in here. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? What's going on, Mr. Prater? How you doing, brother? That's a great guy right there, y'all. Rich Prater, y'all, he's a great guy. And he has a wonderful podcast, and that's real shit, y'all. Y'all gotta go check him out. Yeah. Let's get it. Dang, it's only 4 y'all up in here? 5? Come on, let's get it going. I'm not gonna talk to 5 people. I'll cut this motherfucker off before we go 5. We not gonna do that. We can't do 5. We gotta do more than 5. Come on, y'all. Give me some more people up in here, y'all. We need more. We need more to get it started. We need more to get this started. Come on, y'all. Let's get it started. We need more than 5. I ain't doing nothing with less than 5. I'm not doing it with 3. That's not even happening. I will end this motherfucker. We don't get it like that. Hey, you know what? Let me tell y'all, Rich Prater, he's a smart, intelligent guy, and I bet you any amount of money, Bryan St. John cannot debate Rich Prater. I'm telling you 100%, it can't happen. He can't do it. He can't do it, ladies and gentlemen. Rich Prater will rip his ass apart. There ain't no damn Beverly Hills Cop music. That's Rocky Balboa. Rocky 4. Get it together, man. What is you doing? Okay, we got 6. Come on, we gotta get it. We gotta get it going. I will not talk about Michelle until we get more people in here. There we go. The ladder is finally climbing. A lot of people needs to set their what's her name? Oh, Bryan, you can't fuck with Rich Prater, brother. I'm sorry, Bryan. You can't do it. You cannot go head to head with Rich Prater. It ain't happening. But I'm glad you here, Bryan. I am glad Bryan is in the house. I am happy that he's here. What's up? How you doing? Golden Girl. Why am I up so early, late? Because I said I was going to do this and get it going. Okay, if we get a couple more people, I'm going to go on and do what we do. Let's get it. Let me, we're going to get Golden Girl some real music. Because Golden Girl is up in here, y'all. I was going to get y'all some elevator music, but we ain't going to do that. We got 10 up in here. Get a couple more and we good. The collector is up in here. I know Bryan will lose that one. Bryan don't want none of that one. I'm sorry, but Bryan will straight lose. Yes, he will. I believe it. Hands down. The Art of Dialogue. Gab told me about your new channel, Mike G. Hey, what's up, Art of Dialogue? Listen, everybody. Y'all love that Tupac content. Y'all better fuck with the Art of Dialogue. him and Machiavelli Media, those are the two real sources of Tupac information. I'm talking about not none of that fake ass shit. I'm talking about real stuff. The Art of Dialogue and Machiavelli Media. Real talk. So let's get this started, ladies and gentlemen. I want all of that. Okay, let's chop it up, ladies and gentlemen. Let me put a picture up here, cause everybody probably like, who in the hell is Michelle LeMay Self? And I know Bryan know who she is, because Bryan is the king of this Darlie Routie case. So I know Bryan know who this lady is. Bryan, tell me you don't know who this woman is right here. If Bryan tell me he don't know who this woman is, he's no longer the king of this shit. This is real talk. You're no longer the king, Bryan, if you cannot tell me who Michelle LeMay Self is. If you can't tell me who this woman is, you're no longer the king of this shit. I'm sorry to tell you. Your crown is gone. I'm cutting your head off and taking it. A murder-suicide? Wrong. Not at all. It was not a murder-suicide. Sorry, brother. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to all you Darlie haters, all you Darlie, send Darlie to jail, cook Darlie, fry Darlie, I do not know who she is. Refresh me. Because you don't know who she is. And nobody know who she is. You know why? Because the media, and your friend Bryan, the district attorney, DA, who was working the Darlie case, sealed the case. Sealed her case. Nobody even knows about it to this day. Nobody can find no information on this woman or her husband. You can't even find nothing on the murder, on her homicide. You can't. Let me put my old man glasses on. Let me put these old man glasses on for you real quick, Bryan, and give you a little taste of what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen. I got these bifocals on. Now, these ain't no motherfucking bifocals. I'm just talking. I want to look sophisticated when I'm talking to y'all. Okay, Bryan, this is for you. Less than 3 weeks after the Routie event, a 27-year-old woman, Michelle LeMay Self, was found murdered a half a mile from the Routie home at Lake Ray Hubbard. Jurisdiction of Lake Ray Hubbard falls under the Dallas County's DA's office, not the Rolette Police Department. The DA's office sealed the case. The death of Michelle Self was never in the newspaper, and the public to this day does not know this occurred. When her body was found, she was wearing an enormous amount of jewelry. Her case remains unsolved, and her killers remain at large. Had this murder been made public, the assistant DA's case against Darlie Routie would certainly have caused pause. Would cause pause in people's mind. Bryan. What you got to say about that, Bryan? What you got to say about that, Bryan? No, Bryan. What do you have to say about that shit, Bryan? The groove streak? No, fuck that, Bryan. Come on now. Now, if this woman would have been in the media, Darlie's case, Darlie would have been found not guilty. Come on now. Let's just be real. It's a couple more things that I want to read off in here to you, Bryan. Because this shit doesn't really make sense that this woman, Michelle LeMay Self, her case is unsolved. It didn't even make the media. They don't even talk about it to this day. Mr. Prater, would you care to tell Bryan a little bit of what's going on? Or Mr. Prater, if you would like to call me, sir, you can call me right now, sir. You can call in right now, Mr. Prater. You know the number how to get to me direct, Mr. Prater. You can call me right now if you would like, so we can, chop it up just a little bit, because this guy Bryan, think he knows everything. Think he know everything. Oh, huh, Bryan? Okay. Bryan knows just a little something. He don't know everything. Look at her, Bryan. Look at her. Bryan happy that man said Bryan was right. Why did he say you were right, Bryan? Why? You didn't know her name, Bryan? Bryan. Let me ask you a question. Does that look suspect to you, Bryan, that they hid that case and sealed it while the Darlie case was going on? Be honest, not Bryan. That shit don't look weird to you? Come on, Bryan. Come on, Bryan. Let's get it going. Read your comments, Bryan. I'm reading your comments, Bryan, but you're not saying nothing. I'm gonna give you a little bit more of this shit now. Okay. Let me see. Where is it? Where I'm at here. Now, Bryan, can you tell me who Charles Lynch is, Bryan? Can you tell me who Charles Lynch is, Bryan? Oh, no problem, Mr. Prater. But, Bryan, this is a question for you. Can you tell me who Charles Lynch is? Can you tell me, Bryan, who Charles Lynch is? How do I have it, Bryan? Shit just fell on my lap, Bryan. That's how I have it. I guarantee you don't have it, and I guarantee you never knew about it, and I guarantee you can't get it. Come on, Bryan. Who is Charles Lynch? Who the hell is Charles Lynch, Bryan? Bryan. And Bryan said that's why I said Bryan was correct. Okay. Bryan, who's Charles Lynch? Ooh, Bryan, you are so right. You're right, Bryan. You're right, Bryan. Bryan, let me talk to you about your boy Charles. Now, the research obtained by the Dallas Morning News uncovered disturbing information about trace evidence expert Mr. Charles Lynch, used by the state to convict Miss Routie. Findings indicated that Mr. Lynch spent time in the psychiatric unit for alcoholism and depression before Miss Routier's trial. Although Mr. Lynch was not in the psychiatric unit during Mrs. Routier's trial, there is evidence that he was in Doctors Hospital North Psychiatric Unit in Dallas in February of 1994. Evidence also indicate he was taken out of the unit and then returned on at least 2 occasions after testifying as an expert at capital murder trials as part of a job grievance filed by Mr. Lynch. He questioned his own qualifications. Once again, Bryan, he questioned his own qualifications in hair and fiber analysis, as well as in the blood spatter. Bryan, Mr. Lynch was a fucking nutball, Bryan. This guy was a fucking alcoholic, and he was in the nut ward, Bryan. So why should we believe him about blood spatter? Why should we believe him on anything? Huh? Okay, yeah, he after he convicted her, he speaks up on her, Bryan. Why, Bryan? Now, if these people are speaking up on her behalf, Bryan, why do you still think she's guilty? Bryan, could you please call me, sir? Please, Bryan. Please, Bryan. Ring my phone, Bryan. Call. Please, Bryan. We want to hear from you tonight. Bryan, please call in, sir. Let's see if Bryan going to call in, ladies and gentlemen, because Bryan is always good for calling in. He's going to try to debunk a lot of this shit, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to keep on going, Bryan, until you get the nuts to call, because right now I don't think you got the balls to call right now. Okay. Mr. Lynch had previously made at least one critical mistake on the Routie case. At a pre-trial bond hearing, Mr. Lynch misidentified a piece of hair found on the window screen as being that of Miss Routie. It was later discovered that the hair actually belonged to a female police officer, Miss Sarah Jones. Bryan is calling in. Miss Sarah Jones, who collected evidence at the scene. Mr. Lynch's testimony on her hair was critical in Miss Routie being denied bond after her arrest. Hello.
To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Yep. What's up, Bryan?
Hey, let me turn this YouTube down.
You gotta turn your video down, sir. Turn it down.
Yeah, I turn it down. Now, Charles Lynch.
Go ahead, Bryan.
Hey, what's up?
Go ahead.
Charles Lynch, before he worked the Darlie case, he'd done this plane crash where he had to go over like 100 bodies, and it kind of messed him up. So his own employee turned him over to the psych ward. He started drinking really bad. But look, in the Darlie case, Charles Lynch also came back and said, he tested the fibers that were on that knife. He said, I think it needs more testing. What he said didn't convict her because he was being straight up honest about it. He said, I think this needs more testing. And that's why Stephen Cooper did tests on that stuff. So.
Okay. Now, Bryan, do you know that the prosecutors are required by law to give the defense any evidence that could help the defendant? Yet.
Absolutely. They're supposed to turn over all discovery, anything they're going to use in the court.
Yes, sir. But yet, Assistant DA Davis restricted crucial evidence. He allowed the defense to use only 200 of the 600 photographs taken when viewed in contacts. The additional 400 the additional 400 photographs reveal a severely compromised crime scene. Evidence was moved. Blood was trampled on. Blankets were folded and unfolded, disturbing the blood spatter patterns. Key DNA evidence was placed together in paper bags from a local grocery store while the blood was still wet. Now, Bryan, I may not. Now, Bryan, hold on, Bryan. Bryan, I may not be in the words of the great Charlemagne the God, Bryan, I may not be the highest grade of weed in the dispensary, but that shit sound fucked up to me. What do you think, Bryan?
Well, it's typical evidence that to pick up evidence, you're allowed to use grocery bags. I looked into that too as a support. There was Albertsons down there. They went ahead and used those grocery bags. I know that the way that James Crine, you can see in one video where James Crine brings a bag out and sets it up against the wheel of the car. But it didn't add to or take away from the evidence.
Yes, it did, Bryan. Well, Bryan, why they only get to look at 200 to 600 photographs? Why?
Every bruise that was on Darlie was discussed in full in court in front of everybody.
Okay.
And you can watch Barb Davis. Now, Barb Davis is one who wrote Precious Angels. She's the one that they got her to change her mind. Okay. Right, but she finally came out and said, yes, they did see all the photos. All the others saw the photos. It was Charles Sanford that was saying, see the photo. But if you look at Charles Sanford's affidavit and what he was actually reneging on his guilty for, the affidavit of Charles Sanford it's available online. He never said anything about not seeing those photos. He never said anything not seeing. But remember, if that's why we keep saying you read the transcript. Because they say they never
Brian,
saw the
the transcript shit finna go out the window because guess what? You didn't read all 10,000 pages of that transcript, and I'm quite sure a lot of people did not read them. I'm quite sure Rich did, but I don't think you did, Brian. I just don't.
I did. Word for word.
Okay, Brian. Dr. Janice Townsend, the pathologist. I'm getting this up. Yes, I'm getting okay. Who performed Damon's autopsy testified that her opinion the knife wounds on Mrs. Routier's right forearm were similar to defensive wounds suffered by other assault victims she had encountered throughout the course of her practice.
That's right.
Okay, so are you saying? Are you saying? Hold on. Are you saying? Hold on. Now, are you still saying that Darlie did this to herself?
Well, I'm going by what Dr. Alex Santos said when he said he felt those wounds were self-inflicted. Now, if you want to see defense wounds, you can see the pictures of Travis Alexander. On his hands, they're cut wide open. Darlie had 3 little small cuts that on her fingers that they said they looked like defense wounds, but they could also be pulling that screen down.
Well, do you know that screen, right? That everybody, the infamous screen, they say that was cut from the inside, and it was actually found that screen really was cut from the outside. Did you know that through that window, Darlie's sister, family member, we're gonna say the family member, we're not gonna say a sister, family member used to sit by that window and smoke cigarettes. Because Darlie, because Darlie and Darren did not like cigarette. They didn't smoke, and they didn't want cigarette smoke in their house. Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay. So why did you still saying that the screen was cut from the inside when it was later proven that screen was actually cut from the outside?
I never said it was cut from the inside or the outside. You could poke through it and cut it down from the outside.
But it didn't. It was cut from the outside. Now,
well, you can literally poke through it with a knife and turn a knife around and cut it from the outside.
Now this is what I'm gonna do. I want to challenge one of my viewers right now. Right, I want to challenge one of my viewers right now. I would like for you to go in your kitchen and grab a butcher knife. Right, go grab a butcher knife.
We've already done this.
And I want you. I'm going to give you all of this right here. I'm going to give you all this. If you can react those same marks that Darlie got, if you're still living after it's done, I'm going to give you all this money right here, okay? This is your money.
But Darlie's still living.
Okay, but okay. I'm going to give you, listen. You guys said that she did this, right? But did you know that chain that she had on her neck, that chain saved her life? That chain was embedded into the neck. Did you know that, Brian?
The chain Rich, tell him this. The chain actually never went into surgery. When they took off the bandage to her neck, the chain came out of it and stuck in coagulated blood. Okay. It never went into surgery. He knows that.
Okay, but Brian, is it a possibility that chain could have saved her life, Brian? Now I want somebody not to have a chain on, and I'm going to give you this money if you can slit your throat, cut your arm down to the bone, and put defensive wounds on your hands. And then I want you to hold on. Then I want you to go mess up your house and call the police. And tell the police that an intruder came in and did that shit. I want to see how far you get before your ass pass out or start crying from the pain that you're going to be in. And if you do it and you show me the photos, I'm going to give you all this goddamn money right here that's in my hand. It's all yours.
I'll give you that too, but on the other side, this is the way we look at it. When someone is in the act, when someone is in the act of killing, your adrenaline goes up. Your adrenaline goes up because you're in that act. As far as that necklace, there's testimony that Darlie bought that necklace from a pawn shop. It was used. They had a necklace in the first place. The person that found the nick was actually Darren. While he was on the stand, look at that. He said, look at this nick right here. Here's what tells me it didn't save her life. It didn't cut all the way through. But if an intruder would have sliced her neck and it cut that necklace, it could have stopped it from that other 2 millimeters into past her carotid sheath. It could have, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you
you
might look.
I'm right.
If you look up suicide by throat slashing, you'll see that it's very common. I didn't believe it either until I looked it up. And people do this all the time.
So I'm waiting for somebody to reenact this self-inflicted wounds, and I'm gonna give you all this money. I'm gonna give you this money. I'm gonna give you all $700 of these dollars if you can reenact that crime scene. If you can do it, cut yourself up like that, and set the whole crime scene up. I'm gonna give you this money because you're a bad motherfucker.
The way you explained it is different. You said she cut herself up and then she flipped the table over and all that. But what if she waited for Darren to go to bed, flipped all the table over, took that knife, cut it from the outside. Okay. Then she thought she stabbed the kids, right? Okay. And she thinks they're gone. She thinks that she thinks she killed them.
You know what?
So she
I like Todd. Todd is cool. He come in. He do his shit on a respectful note. I like Todd. Todd
is always respectful.
Oh yeah, Todd is always respectful. He respects on my beliefs and my opinions, and I respect his as well. He respects everybody else. That's why Todd get thumbs up all the time. But I'm still saying free Darlie 2020. Now.
Yeah, you have that right. You got that right to do that.
And you're still saying give her the needle. She gonna get the needle in her arm.
Not necessarily. I don't think that's going to solve anything.
No.
But as far as the Michelle LeMay self, I knew that Chad Patterson was involved in that. They accused, and I just didn't know her name. I didn't remember her name. But Chad Patterson is the son of the lead detective, Jimmy Patterson. Right? He's the one that actually arrested Darlie. He's the one that made. So the reason that it went quiet is because it was unsolved. Everybody knew that it was out there then. Then it went unsolved. It kind of went away, like the case of Missy Beavers in Midlothian, where she was killed in that church by that security guard looking guy. Everybody knew she got killed. It was big news, but then when they unsolved it, it just kind of goes away. But I do think it's kind of questionable that Chad Patterson, the lead detective in Darlie's case, was a suspect.
Now, what about this fact, right? Because it's in this paperwork I got now. The Chad, I think it's Chad. What's his name? Patterson, his son, right?
Yeah, Chad Patterson.
Yeah, Chad Patterson's son. He drove a car like the car the neighbors described.
What kind of car did the neighbors describe?
It was a black car. And
what kind of car?
It was a black car. I don't remember the name. I'm quite Rich can put the name of the car up, but hold on. And
Chad Patterson drove a blue.
Hold on, no. It was a black car that was also under the name of a family member, right? And his son was driving this car. And why did this car end up in the scrapyard crushed? Why is that? Could you tell me that?
I have no idea. Some people get rid of junk cars, know. But here's another thing.
But that don't look suspicious to you, sir?
No, because Chad Patterson actually worked with the defense to tell on his dad. He went to Stephen Cooper's office to help. But here's the thing. People always say that their cars just going around there and look like they're looking and stuff. They had a $6,000 lit fountain down the corner. So people would go by and look at it naturally. They would go by and they would turn around in that back alley. That's what I did when I left from there. But the fountain was there. But it was common for people to slow down and look at that fountain. So if you're looking out your window, it might look kind of fishy to you. I think if I want to stalk a house and kill somebody, right, the last thing I want to do is bring my own personal car around.
Well, some people are stupid like that. They feel that their daddy is ahead of drug crimes, and they can do what they want to do and get away with shit. Am I right or am I wrong, Bryan?
Well, maybe, but like I said, except for the fact that Chad Patterson went and they didn't question him or nothing. He went in and said, "My dad is not following up the leads on the Darlie Routie case." He went to the lawyer's office to help.
Okay.
I can't see a killer doing that.
Well, maybe if the killer want to throw all the weight off of him and want to put it on somebody else, of course he would do that.
He wasn't putting it on his dad. He was just saying my dad's not following up these leads.
Okay, but okay, he's taking the heat off of him and going to snitch on Daddy and say Daddy ain't following up on these goddamn leads. That's what he's saying.
When I talked to Darren's mom, Cirilla, she said to me, she goes, we got a hold of Chad Patterson's fingerprints, and we tested them against 85J, and it wasn't him. You can hear her say this. Right? So right. If the defense can get a hold of Chad's print and run it, why couldn't they have run this print for the last 22 years?
You got a good question. You got that's a good question, Darren. Bryan. It's a good. You got a good question there. Why they haven't? This whole case was fucked up from the word go. How you gonna walk in 20 minutes and determine that this woman was the killer?
He never said that this woman was the killer. What he said was, this looks like an inside job to me.
Okay, but Darlie, in 20 minutes, Darlie was their suspect.
No. The first suspect was actually Darren because he was unharmed. He was the only one that was unharmed. Okay. And when they questioned Darlie, Darlie flat out said, Darren is not the man I saw. Mm-hmm. He's not the man I saw. And people say that he was never a suspect and he was never questioned. No, they took him downtown and they made him undressed and they took pictures of and everything. Okay. And his story stayed consistent. Darlie's story changed a lot.
Well, all female stories change a lot,
Well, I'll tell you. First, Darlie says she woke up because there was a man standing over her, right?
Right.
And then later she said she woke up because Damon, who was mortally wounded, walked over to her and tapped her on the shoulder and said, Mommy, Mommy. That's two different stories right there. Okay. And I will give them this. I will say this. Mm-hmm. When shit like that happens, maybe you'll get some stuff mixed up. I will give them that. But her story changed a lot. She didn't mention wipe the towels at all. Until she came back home with Mercedes Adams and saw that the police took her sink.
Right. Now let me ask you this one question, Bryan. What motive did Darlie have to want to kill her kids? What was the motive? Could you give me a motive?
Well, I'll give you my theory. But in the United States, we don't have to prove motives. Like, why would somebody go rape a baby? Because they're sick and bad. Right. We don't have to prove motives. But here's what I think. I think Darlie was upset with Darren because his business was failing. She was stuck in the house. He was making $500,000 a year, and she was stuck in the house, and she knew it. Now, Darren's mother was a CPS worker. She was a cop. So if she tried to leave Darren with those kids, she was afraid that he was going to get them. I think it's a classic case of spousal revenge, filicide. And I got this from Dr. Philip Resnick. He's an expert on filicide. Okay. I think that either A, she attempted to kill herself and failed and kill those kids and blame Darren and get Darren locked up. Or two, she was just in one of those, if I can't have them, you won't have them either. Because in their first statements, they never said anything about an argument and asking for separation with each other. They said it, but it came out later that they got in a fight that night and they were asked for a separation from each other. Darlie knew that Darren would get those kids. So I think it's a classic case of spousal revenge, filicide.
That's what you feel, huh? Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's the only thing it could be, because otherwise, there was, by all accounts, Darlie was a good mother. She was normal. So was Darren. They smoked a little weed, snorted a little coke. But other than, it's like the Chris Watts thing. Chris Watts was a good dad too. He just kind of flipped and killed his kids and everything else.
Okay. What can you tell me about Tom Bevels? What information can you give me about Mr. Bevels?
Tom Bevel is an expert on blood splatter. They actually write the books. He works for Garner Bevel. He has made some mistakes in other cases, like the David Cam case. He made a mistake on the blood splatter there.
He got three wrong. He got 3 wrongful convictions. 3 wrongful convictions. So why in the hell? Let me ask you this. Now, if he got 3 wrongful convictions, right? Why in the hell is this man even still got a job? Why would they even put him on the Routie case of blood spatter?
But I also know that forensic science isn't exact science, and they know that going in. Tom Bevel, he had some mistakes. Every one of them make mistakes. They all make mistakes. But Tom Bevel has also exonerated people who weren't guilty. So you kind of got to put the good with the bad.
No, I can't take it like that. I can't believe anything dealing with this guy. You got 3 wrongful convictions, and people have spent years in prison because of your word.
Well, I understand that. But if it was only Tom Bevel's testimony that put her in there, then I could clearly understand what you're saying.
Now let's talk about.
It's up to the courts to believe what these experts are saying. Okay. The prosecutor coming in to paint a picture of she did it, and it just depends on what picture looks better. Sometimes.
Okay, let's talk about the judge, Joe. What's his name? Judge Toll. That's his name.
Yeah, Judge Toll.
Okay. Why is it this was a serious case? This woman's fighting for her life. But the judge was seen falling asleep on the bench several times and was heard making jokes. No. He was heard making jokes, talking about he's a Z away from Alzheimer's disease, Alzheimer's, whatever the shit.
He may be plumb dumb, but he's not plumb dumb. Here's the thing.
Okay.
The only person that reported the judge falling asleep out of a packed courthouse was Darlie's family member.
Okay. Because they observing everything. This old fucker.
Somebody else saw that, but her.
Nobody else saw it.
And what she was doing, her name was Sandy Aiken. What she was doing when she was writing notes, then she'd go out in the hallway, and then she'd come back in, and the judge told her in open court, "You can watch that writing notes stuff. We know you're passing information to people ain't allowed in here." Well, all of a sudden, he started falling asleep. And the thing with the Alzheimer's, he was not diagnosed with Alzheimer's until 10 years after Darlie's case. And once he found out that he actually had it, he stepped down. Judge Toll was not the one who convicted her. It was 12 jurors that convicted her.
Right, but why did he help set this up in a fucked up predicament in a courtroom where it was cold? You know, if you're uncomfortable as a jury, you're gonna hurry up and convict the motherfucker just to get this shit over with because you're uncomfortable. And a lot of those people's uncomfortable there, and they rushed that him and this fucking the district attorney prosecutor motherfucker. They rushed this because and this is what it is, okay?
They fast tracked it. Greg Davis and Kobe Sugar had nothing to do with the air in that place. And actually, the first vote was 8-4. And the judge told them to go back in there and come out. We don't know how cold. We don't know the temperature in there. I know that there weren't people in the galley that were saying they were cold and they had to leave. Okay. Nobody picked out a blanket. Just the jury room must have been cold, but the rest of it wasn't. Yeah.
Well, let's get back on Chad, right? Charles
Lynch.
Yeah. Why should we? Like I said, once again, why are we believing anything that Mr. Lynch has to say? When he done convicted 3 wrong people, was 3 wrong people was wrongfully that's not Charles, my bad. Bevels, my bad, Bevels. Why should we be even believing him? And he done got 3 wrong convictions. People have served more than 5 years in penitentiary because of his fuck ups. And this woman has spent nearly 30 years in prison because of his fuck ups.
Yeah, she's been there for about 23 years.
Close, just say 30, almost 30, rounded off to the nearest 30.
It wasn't his testimony that sealed the nail in her coffin. It wasn't his testimony. And like I said, these forensic experts are going to be wrong. There's also been people that have committed crimes that went through the court process and was found not guilty.
Because you know why? Because they wasn't guilty. That's why.
No. There's also been guilty people that have went through the court process and got out of it because they weren't proven guilty. That doesn't mean you're not guilty.
No, the only person I know that got away with cold-blooded murder was that motherfucker O.J. Simpson. That's the only motherfucker I believe that got away with cold-blooded murder. O.J. Simpson. He got away with murder. He did that shit. Now that was some shit he did.
That was about money, and they banked his ass on the other charges, and it cost him $49 million. So really,
and that was a drop in the bucket for him because he's not broke. It was a small drop, And
I don't think
the Goldman's brother and the Goldman's family still haven't gotten paid yet. Not $1.
Yeah, he said he ain't gonna pay him.
Oh goddamn. Okay, round it off to this. You know what? I'm talking shit, Ty. You know he said round it off to the nearest 10. Todd, my guy. Todd is a cool dude. I like Todd. Todd, like I say,
Todd is a very interesting individual.
Yes, he is. He's very respectful. From day one, he's always been very respectful. Very.
He's like that in every chat. He's like that in every chat. Sometimes when you come on live and you don't see him, say, "Hey, where's Todd?" Right? I ain't seen Todd. He'll show up.
Oh, okay.
He pops up.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. The blood splatter on Darlie's shirt could have come from cast off from the paramedics' gloves. Mm-hmm. Well, the thing of it is, there's protocol for the paramedics' gloves with certain ways that they take them off so that the blood won't fly. And I put that video up to show that they teach them if you take one glove off, you ball it up in the other, and you wrap the other one up in it, and you pull it off, and nothing.
Yeah, that's the proper way to do it. But I've seen MTs do the total opposite. You know what I'm saying? Fucking off. None of them do it. Like I said, I worked at the Wayne County Medical Examiner's office before. I seen it. I know they do it. So, and I'm a straight witness to that. They be in there all fucking thumbs. They come in there. You know the motherfucker's dead, so why in the fuck is you even touching the body? Leave it. Let us do what we got to do with it.
Right. And as far as Darlie's scene being trampled, they had to get in there at 10 today. Paramedics aren't usually worried about the crime scene. They're worried about the victim.
True.
They had to get in today because they actually inserted something into his lungs to help him to breathe. Mm-hmm. So, yes, there was a footprint that they couldn't identify at one time, and James Cron, he made everybody that was on that scene test for a footprint and came back to the paramedics. The medics, the supporters at one time gave the medics a lot of crap for not coming in right away, but they have to wait until the officers clear the scene. So when they get in there, they're going in there straight to the victim. They're not worried about what's on the floor. Well, so, of course, with all the blood being right in their path, of course they're going.
Here in Wayne County, the EMS, they in that motherfucker quick. Ain't no kid finna be laying around. They coming straight in and running straight to that kid. That's the kid. The kid is number one priority over anyone. The kid.
Right, but here's what Darlie was saying. It was an intruder. He went out in the garage to go check the garage. They didn't know had he left the house yet. So that's what they didn't want. They can't let the LE and the medical staff get hurt. They can't do that. So once they cleared and checked the garage and checked there when they saw he wasn't there, they cleared it and then he came in. Otherwise, they would have rushed right on in there. They thought there was intruders still hiding in that house.
Now this is what I want to ask you. Now let's play the speculation game, Bryan, because you're good at it. What do you think? Why do you think Darren didn't come downstairs while any of this was going on? Now you butchering the motherfuckers. Now you making noises, grunting noises.
Right.
Is it possible for a motherfucker to sleep through that?
When they checked Darren and Darlie's room, they found half a joint in an ashtray. I mean, he smoked a little bit. He was sleeping, right? Darren said he heard that glass break. Right? And then he heard Darlie screaming for him. So as soon as he heard some noise, he came down there. The question is why wouldn't Darlie hear all that stuff when she was only feet away from him? That's the question. Darren was way upstairs.
Is she a hard sleeper?
No, she's a very light sleeper, and I got her mother-in-law to say that. Very light sleeper. Right? These babies were feet away from them. Away from them. And now, you know the reason why she's downstairs, right?
Right.
You know, the reason she said she's downstairs and she had been sleeping down there for a week.
Okay.
She said because the baby whose crib was in their room would rock, or he would rock that crib and wake her up. So she would just go sleep downstairs rather than not be bothered with that noise. If the baby just moved around in her crib could wake her up, how come an intruder killing her other two kids didn't? She slept soundly. Was she drunk? Was she drunk that night? Did she have anything to drink? Her toxicology didn't show any alcohol in her system. All she had was diet pills. No weed, no nothing.
No, okay, so she didn't have any drugs, no coke, no weed, nothing.
Nothing.
Okay. Now,
I just raise the questions just like you do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think otherwise, just because you think Darlie's innocent.
No. I don't think. I know she's innocent. I don't think.
Maybe you can answer to me why she couldn't hear her babies being butchered, just the way you described it, less than a few feet away from her.
Okay, let's street shit. Let's talk street shit. Okay. How many times you been knocked out cold sleep, and your wife was giving you a blowjob, and you didn't wake up right away, getting that blowjob? Does that make you
You're saying that she could have been. You're saying that she could have been in a deep sleep.
Yeah.
Well, she said that she woke up to the sound of her baby coming over her, tapping her on the shoulder and saying, "Mommy, mommy."
Okay, but hold on. But obviously, she was in a deep sleep because she didn't hear her son getting assaulted until he came over.
Right, and that's why I let you know that there was half a joint in Darren's ashtray, which a lot of people smoke before they go to bed, and that puts you out.
Mm-hmm.
So he could have been. So I got the same answer for you that you have for me.
Mm-hmm.
Except those babies were feet away from her.
Right.
If she was a deep sleeper, the baby just rocking around and moving in his crib, that wouldn't wake her up. It didn't wake nobody else up. It only woke Darlie up. It didn't wake Darren up. It didn't even wake the baby up. It didn't wake the boys up. It only woke Darlie up. In my opinion, if the baby was having trouble at night sleeping because he would rock around, instead of me just picking up my stuff and going downstairs to sleep, I'd try to find out why the baby was doing that. Why was he every night fussing and fighting, right? Mm-hmm. Or you could get a monitor. Or you could take the baby and they had another room. You could put him in there at night if it was waking her up with a monitor, right? She just said,
is it possible?
I can't go down here.
Is it possible she probably didn't want any more kids and Darren could have been the one that made her have that kid? Is that could have been possible?
Actually, it's the other way around.
Oh, okay.
Darren didn't want any more kids.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, rumor has it,
mm-hmm.
and I can't prove it. Rumor has it that she got pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Darren paid for her boob job
mm-hmm.
for her to have an abortion, but that's only a rumor. I can't prove that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a rumor. I'm gonna make that perfectly clear that that's not a fact, but that's what was said.
Okay.
And I know that his girlfriend Cindy Black. If you see pictures of her from before,
mm-hmm.
she's just flat chested, cute but flat chested. But if you see her now, she got some big old boobies.
Big old boobies. So Darren like big titties.
Yeah, that's just a rumor. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, one of his first statements to the police was, "Isn't she beautiful? Didn't you see her big breasts?" Darren is weird. Darren is fucking weird. I do believe that if Darlie didn't do it, then Darren did, because I believe somebody in that house did that. And I made that perfectly clear all these years. Even as a Darlie supporter,
mm-hmm.
when I would say, hey, if she didn't do it, then Darren did, they gave me hell for that. They didn't like to hear that shit.
I still say Darlie didn't do it at all.
If you can answer me why she didn't hear that.
No, hold on. Now, Nanny Love, I love you, Nanny Love. This is some good shit right up here. Nanny Love says, so Darlie wanted more kids just to murder them, huh? That's what you said.
They even had a baby name picked out they thought it was going to be a girl. They had a girl name picked out. And in the other room, they had her wedding dress was laying out,
mm-hmm.
insurance papers was laying out, baby girl dresses were laying out.
Mm-hmm.
A red velvet baby girl dress was laying out. All her life was spread out on the table in the next room. That's a fact.
Okay, so the insurance policy, what kind of insurance policy was this?
It was an insurance policy for the boys and funeral arrangements for the cat. And if you look at Darlie Routier's pictures, you see that couch and you see that big cage next to it?
Mm-hmm.
It contained a Himalayan cat named Smoke. They had to keep him in the cage because he would freak out. Whenever anybody came near that cage, he would freak out and start batting all over the cage. She was worried about the kids. But that cat didn't make a noise when that intruder came in there. That's a fact. These are facts, man. These are facts. I'm not making nothing up.
Okay.
That is a fact.
And what kind of catch you said this was?
I thought it was a big. I saw a picture of him. It looked like a big black Himalayan cat. And I know his name was Smoke. And I heard Darlie talk about, that cat would scare the kids. They'd keep him in the cage. But you'll see Darlie's couch. You'll see the lampshade down. And right beyond that, you'll see that cage. That cat, she said that cat, whenever anybody, and the police said the cat was freaking out when they were there.
I mean,
right?
well, you gotta look at how many, all the commotion that was going on. The cat was gonna freak out. Now, come on, the cat is a cat, not a dog. It's not a dog. He's not gonna alarm them when if someone's in there killing somebody. He's just a cat. He's not a dog. That's what you got a dog for.
Well, they said anytime anybody came near that cage, he would freak out, and it was pretty close to the cage.
Okay, maybe the intruder didn't go near the cage.
He might not have. He could not have. Or it could have just been something that he's used to, like Darlie walking around with kids all day long.
Mm-hmm. I still... Okay. Now, like I said, this is... Everybody, there's much more questions than there are answers, and no one can really answer these questions.
That's right.
But the people who were there. The two young men are no longer with us. They're deceased.
Yes.
And
Devin?
Yeah,
Devin was killed. Devin was killed instantly. We don't know if he made a sound.
Right.
Damon was stabbed in his back. We don't know if they made sounds. We don't. To say that Darren should have heard them, well, that's an up in the air question because we don't. Darlie didn't say my kids were screaming. She said he came up to me calmly with 6 more wounds in him and said, "Mommy, mommy." I have a hard time. I've seen my kids just stub their toe, man. They freak out. This kid's got 6 mortal wounds across through his back.
Now here's the thing though. You're right. Now Darlie and Darren, they wasn't getting along too good. They were fighting for I'm assuming for weeks, from like Mr. Prater said.
Yes.
So is could that possibly be the reason she was downstairs sleeping and wasn't?
Well, if that was the reason she was downstairs, then she lied to the police because she told them she was downstairs because of her baby making noise. And if you're really trying to solve an intruder coming in your house, you would tell them every detail. Another thing that we did notice, I'll give you this, is that along with that 14 pieces of jewelry that were on her thing, her wedding ring was there. And I don't know people that are married that take their wedding ring off at night to go to sleep. I guess some do, but I don't.
A lot of men don't even wear their wedding rings, and some women. Well, you gotta look at it. When you got those big diamonds, because I have diamond rings, and you can't sleep. You're not supposed to sleep in those diamonds because those diamonds can get caught up in the sheets and shit, and they can the rocks will pop out. So I can honestly see her not sleeping with her wedding ring on if it was a big diamond.
That's a very good point. And I will tell you this, that when I spoke with the housekeeper, if you watch the Silly String video, the lady that's holding up Drake's arms, the lady that's holding up the baby's arms while they spray that silly string, her name is Baby. She refused any interview with anybody. She even turned down David Chase.
Okay.
Any interview with anybody, but she decided she wanted to talk to me. She told me that she came over there. You can hear all this. Don't just take it from me. She told me she came over there the day of the murders. And that Darlie and Darren were it was about 5 o'clock, she said. Darlie and Darren were in the kitchen fighting like cats and dogs. And Darlie was making dinner. Like her mom said, she made a big dinner, the chicken dinner. And she said that Darlie was literally sharpening up her knives. And since and she could have been doing that for dinner. I don't know why you need to sharpen, But she said that she went outside because they were arguing. She went out to the back. And she said Damon was in the backyard playing with a stick. He's looking kind of down. She said, "Damon, what's the matter? What's wrong?" And he said, "Well, I want to go spend the night with you tonight, Beja." And she says, "Why? Why would you want to go spend the night with me? I have to work tomorrow, blah, blah, blah." And she said, Damon looked up at her and said, "Because Mommy's being mean to me." That was the day of the murders. There was also a little boy that was supposed to spend the night. That night, his name was Jonathan. He lived right down the street. He was supposed to spend the night that night. They was all planned. But Darlie changed her mind and said she didn't want him to spend the night that night.
What's wrong with that? There's been kids that want to spend the night at my house sometimes with my kids when they were younger, and I would say yeah, then at the last minute I would change my mind.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
You're right, there's nothing wrong with that. Now when Dana and her sister have been staying there off and on for a couple of weeks, right? Well, Darlie told her that she wanted to go home, wanted Darren to take her home because Darlie said she wasn't feeling well. Right?
Right.
Well, Dana said that she wanted to go home to be with her boyfriend. Now, if Darlie told her that she wanted to go home because she said she wasn't feeling well, she never mentioned not feeling well anywhere else. She didn't say I wasn't feeling well, I wanted to lay down. Yeah, I mean, I'm serious. This is all stuff. I'm not making none of this up. Am I rich? I'm making none of it up.
Rich never said you were making anything up. You know, you get some of your shit wrong. But you know a lot of your shit. Rich gave you the utmost respect. He didn't say not one foul word about you. He spoke nice about you.
No, he's nice. He's friendly with me. He always has been friendly. What you catch me getting wrong sometimes is names. I'm bad with names. Like this, Michelle, I knew who that was, but I didn't know where it came from. But as soon as you put her picture up and said Lake Jackson, I knew exactly what you said. You don't know, but you go back and read it. I'm just laying it out to you. And so I do hone in. It might take me a second, but I'll hone in. I've done a lot of research on this case.
Okay.
I put my heart into it.
Now, I did Miss Darlie Key, because that was your big thing. Oh, Miss Darlie Key doesn't even know you. Darlie Key. Hold on. She inboxed me the other day, and she thanked me. She thanked me for speaking up and supporting her daughter. And she wanted to talk to me. She said she was taking care of her father, and she wanted to talk to me later on this week. Was that possible? And I told her yes. But she thanked me for what I was doing. But, you know,
when I had an interview with Darren Gross and I treated him respectfully and we didn't talk about Darlie's guilt, we let him speak. I also got a message from Darlie Key and she thanked me for doing that and she liked that video.
Yes.
She don't even like me. But if you want to speak up about her innocence, about her being innocent, I know that you're going to need the facts and listen, and talking to a guy like me will help a guy like you. I mean, seriously, I learned a lot.
Not when you're saying she's guilty, but I'm saying she's innocent.
Well, no, because I learned a lot from the supporters too. Now, this stuff that I just told you tonight, none of this is a lie. This might be something that you don't know.
Right.
You know, I will not make stuff up. And if something is a rumor, I'll make sure to say, hey, this is just a rumor. If you can find a way to prove it, then that's it.
Bryan, I'm gonna say you're not a fucking bad guy after all. You know, you're already decent guy.
I really am, man. I mean, I just come at people the way they come at me. That's all. That's all I do. I don't, and then you get to a certain point with it, man. But you got to just look, man. I'm 52 years old. I ain't 20 years. I can't. No, I got to go to work, come home, lay the fuck down, and feed my kids.
That's what a man's supposed to do. Take care of his family.
I want nothing more for Darlie Key and Danelle and Dana and all those people that love Darlie to show us 100% something that we can't argue at all. Show us. That's all we want. Just show us something that we can, something that makes us, if you can make two here again, go, you know what? You're right.
But how can we get shown anything when the police are constantly hiding shit? The DA is constantly hiding shit.
I don't believe that they hid anything. Everything was in the discovery. I don't believe they hid anything. The pictures, some of the pictures were duplicates. I know that. But everything, every bruise on her, every injury, every statement, all of it was presented in court for them jurors to listen to.
Well, you know, I'm gonna say this. Darren, I don't know why I'm calling you that man's name. Bryan, I apologize for that. But Bryan, it was a lot of fuck ups that went on there. Can you just honestly admit that there was a lot of fuck ups that went on?
I believe that she had a fair trial. I believe the investigation could have went better, but I believe that what the end result of the investigation caught the person who committed the crime.
Now,
I agree with you. I agree, but there was nothing messed up in the evidence. It was handled. It could have been handled better.
No. Evidence was mishandled. Like the knife that was found 70 yards away. That what?
Yeah,
What?
they went and looked that up. They looked that up. So if that was staged, that means them people planted a garden that had been growing stuff in it for weeks, and they had it sitting next. The knife was in the ground with other gardening tools and stuff like that.
And they've been using. He was using it for gardening.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the crime. Nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
The police knew it.
Okay.
And to this day, they had that knife. They had that knife. And to this day, it has nothing to do with the crime. Nothing. It looked fishy though.
Okay.
You're out walking in the murder, stabbing, but that means they would have had we're gonna plant this garden in these people's backyard and let shit grow for a couple weeks.
Now hold on. Now here's another thing. This is an important factor here, right? Darlie let it be known that she smelt cigarette smoke on one of the intruders, right? And Darren also said when he came downstairs, he smelt cigarette smoke. Now, by neither one of them smoking cigarettes, why is there cigarette smoke in the house?
I never heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
It's never been documented. It's never been in a police report. It's never been something that's discussed. Out of all my research, that's the first time I've ever heard that. And to hear again, being here too, that's a new one. This is some good shit now because it's real talk. Now, and Mr. Prather even know about it. There you go. He said correct. He even know about it. No, I've never heard of that. And I'll tell you this: more cigarette butts have convicted people with DNA. And this intruder was supposed to be so smart, he got out of there with leaving no evidence of him. Last thing I do before I committed a possible triple murder is bring a cigarette and light it up.
Whoever said that? Now hold on. Now listen. This is now no one. Okay. Now no one said he lit the cigarette. Now just say for instance, me and you in the car, and we smoking cigarettes, right? Cigarettes. That cigarette smoke is going to be in our clothes. It's going to be in our hair. Yeah. So we're gonna walk in. We're gonna walk in smelling like cigarette smoke. So it's a possibility that they were smoking a cigarette.
But I have never seen any statement by Darlie or Darren or police statement anywhere about any cigarette smoke whatsoever until today. And I've been studying.
Well, it was said by both parties. Go hit Darren up. Go hit Darren Routie. Go hit him up. And ask him. He might tell you to go fuck yourself, but ask him about that.
I'm gonna go fuck myself last time I talked, but Darren has never said that publicly or in any court of law anywhere.
Well, ask him about it. Ask him.
Well, they just never remembered it 23 years later.
No, that's been said. But go ask him. Go ask him about it.
Well, it's just coming from Darren. I wouldn't believe a thing he said.
Darlie even said it. They put her under like a hypnosis type thing, sleep. And she, to get her to go back to remember that night.
Wherever you heard that from, I can always honestly tell you that that's some made up stuff.
No, it's not made up. It's the truth, brother. It's the truth.
And I know just because somebody says that Darren said this, no, that's not a fact, man. It really ain't. I have been down to the name of the dog, what kind of car they were driving, when they had sex. I can tell you, she had a Brazilian when they took her to the doctor.
Wait a minute. So when the last time Darlie and Darren had sex?
Yes, because she said it was the Sunday before the murders. I watch every little statement, everything. I've never seen Darlie ever.
So how did you know that she had a Brazilian wax?
Because I read every bit of her medical report, every single bit of it, all of it. They told me her exact. I read all the books. I don't want to come at somebody say, "Hey, I think she's guilty," and not have the means to back that up. I have never ever heard anybody mention cigarette smoke ever.
Okay, listen. I'm gonna present that to you at a later date, Bryan. I'm gonna give it to you, and you can share it with your people because your people they want to know so badly. What's her name? This is Pam. Pam, you are. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't want to. I don't want to.
She's a sweetie.
She's a sweetie, but she's pro fuck Darlie. She's pro fuck Darlie, and whatever you say and whatever you get, she's just not gonna believe it. So I wouldn't even waste my fucking time trying to even tell her where how it was said and where it come from. But I'm going to tell you a little bit later on after I dig it back out, and we'll go from there. Okay, Darlie Lynn, hold on. There go Rich Prater. Darlie Lynn said that during her regression therapy the smell of cigarette smoke was in the house during the time of the murders, and no one in the house smoked cigarettes. Get the fuck out of here. There you go. There you go.
Her regression therapy was not part of the trial. It was not part of the evidence. It was not in any police.
Okay, but it came from her mouth, and then it came from Darren later on too that he smelled smoke.
We can go back to her first statement when she said, "Darren is not the man I saw." She didn't say, "I smell cigarette smoke." I know it's not him.
Okay, well, you gotta look at it when your mind is going. A lot of shit is going on. You're not gonna tell them every goddamn thing. You're just gonna start remembering it as it go. You know what I'm saying? You have to be in a predicament. You know what I'm saying, to even to experience that type of thing. I'm not for real.
What I'm telling you is by law, legally, that regression therapy was not presented as evidence.
No.
And regression therapy would be regarded as the same as a lie detector test.
Right.
It depends on the person doing the test. So you can take that and maybe run with it. But we could, if you ran with that, then we can run with the fact.
Why are we running with it? But this is from her. This is what she said. This is out of her mouth. So why she got to be lying?
Well, she was in regression. She was in a state of hypnotic, right? It's just like the lie detector test. When she failed it.
I agree with Nanny Love. Oh my God, that's so gross. He doesn't remember the cigarette smoke, but knows about her Brazilian in the last sexual encounter. He's a pervert. Hey, Bryan's a pervert. He's a freak.
I can go back to Nanny, and I can say that I read that in one of the books.
No. I'm just hold on. Let me. This lady. Okay. No, we're being nice to each other, but you are pro fuck Darlie. I'm still being nice. I'm not disrespecting you. You are pro fuck Darlie. So basically, I mean, what can I really say to you that is going to convince you when your mind is already made up and my mind is made up? So basically, there's we can't communicate on this because we're gonna butt heads, but I'm respectful to you. I'm not being disrespectful.
Let me ask you a logical question.
Go ahead.
Let's say they present the results of that regression therapy to the court right now. Would they overturn her conviction?
Will they overturn it? No, it's not gonna overturn her conviction. And you know what? But you know why it's not gonna overturn her conviction? Because we have a flawed justice system in Texas. We got flawed justice
everywhere,
but Texas is the most flawed justice system because it's racism and everything else that's rolled in with it. So let's just we're not saying racism played a part of her case, but Texas is flawed. That was a big case, and how you think that would have made them look that nobody got caught for this murder, so they got to blame it on somebody. Look at Michelle LeMay Self. Her case right now to this day is still unsolved, and the DA had the case sealed purposely so it couldn't hit the media and fuck up his case with Darlie.
I can hold you up right there because you just said that they had a killing in Darlie's home and they needed to blame it on somebody. Why didn't they just blame Michelle LeMay Self on somebody?
Why? Because they had, look at it, 3 weeks later they had Darlie already, so they needed to sweep her up under the rug and not blame it. They just needed to not even bring her case up. You can ask plenty of people in Texas that's my age and your age about this case, and they don't even know nothing about it.
There's lots of deaths. There's lots of killings that go unsolved every year.
Yes.
Probably hundreds of them.
So let me, right. So now that's why when you guys say, oh, go read the transcripts. The transcripts sent sent innocent motherfuckers to prison, and then they got they shit overturned. So why would I go read some flawed ass transcripts when this is a flawed case?
I think you would have a better argument on that if there was a witness for the prosecution or defense that ever came back and said, that's not what I said, or this is missing, but no one ever has.
Mm-hmm.
And what Rich Prater's saying here, as far as that regression therapy, he says, you're right, it was never released to the public because Darlie Keith told her it was never released to the public. Why do you think Darlie Keith didn't release that to the public?
Why they didn't release what to the public?
The regression therapy where she said that she smelled cigarette smoke. Why do you think Darlie Key never told the public about it?
Why did she tell the public? Maybe that's why didn't she? You have to ask her. I can't speculate for her. You have to ask her that.
I can tell you that she honestly puts everything out that she believes will help her daughter to look innocent, and that's exactly what she should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
If she had that regression therapy and they said that, you would assume that they would put it publicly.
Now the regression, like he said, like Mr. Porter said, the regression therapy has never been released.
Right. That's why I never heard it before.
Right. Okay. So, but here, the point of it all is, like I'm saying, this right here, we're being unbiased. Okay.
Right.
We're being unbiased, and we're talking about this, you and I. And your friend in here who said that I was being mean, but I'm not being mean nowhere. Would you tell her I'm not being mean, Bryan? Tell her.
Terrell, she's the nicest woman
ever.
I
mean, yeah, we spoke through email. Yes, we have, and we spoke.
She's
right.
She's very serious about the case.
But that's not what I asked you. Am I being mean to her? Am I being mean to her?
I don't know.
Now, come on, motherfucker. You know when I'm being mean. Now, come on. Now,
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Maybe she's her idea of mean.
Oh, okay. Because come on now. You know when I'm mean. Now, you know when I'm being mean. So no, I was not being mean to her.
I'm telling you, she's nicest to me,
we
man.
had a decent conversation through text message. I mean, what's her name? Through the email. Most definitely, she was respectful. She was very respectful and still has been respectful, and I'm being respectful.
If you get mean to her,
I'm just busting. I'm busting your balls. Don't be mean. I'm just busting your balls. Okay, I'm having fun here. Okay. I'm having fun. I'm just busting your balls. No, you didn't say I were being mean, but I'm busting your balls a little bit. I'm having fun here.
Right.
Lighten up a little bit. Goddamn, lighten up, y'all.
Do you see Rich's comment right here?
Which one?
There were cigarette butts found at the bottom of the windowsill of the cut screen window.
Yeah.
That likely could have been from Dana.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why Darlie smelled cigarettes, because there were cigarette butts in the house from her sister.
They were outside the window, not in the house. Come on, you fucking moron. Outside the window, not in the house.
No, come on with the insult. Look.
I'm talking. Bryan, come on. This me and you. Okay.
But look, you did say that maybe somebody came in there smelling like cigarettes.
Right.
That would be from the outside as well, right?
Uh-huh.
Unless they lit one up. I'm just trying to be logical, man.
Bryan, I know. Look at Ty. He said we both being professional and respectful. Ain't nothing wrong with a jabbing each other a little bit. No, we ain't jabbing. We having fun. That's all.
There ain't no more jabbing we can do to each other.
Yeah.
Unless it's with hands.
Oh no, we slung all the mud that we could possibly sling at each other. I'm the winner. The champ, still the champ. The 50.
Hey, that's good to be confident. You got to be seen. If you're going to debate this case, if you're going to stand for what you stand for, you have to be confident.
Okay, well, hold on. I apologize if I seemed unfair, but no, I wasn't being unfair. It's just that, and if it seemed unfair to you, I deeply apologize. But no, I've been getting a lot of shit from the Darlie, the people who do not support this woman. I've been getting a lot of shit. Seriously, so.
Well, they're nice to you, though. They'll come and they're not gonna come at you like you motherfucker.
Oh no, a few have. So, and I had to get in their ass. But no, she never did that though. She from day one, when she reached out to me through email, it was always respectful. She's supposed to send me some stuff, but she never sent it. I never received it. Okay,
we'll get to it.
I believe she's gonna get to it.
I'll tell you something about her.
What's that?
She's the one, she kept doing to me when I supported Darlie.
Mm-hmm.
She kept coming in calmly and nicely into my group.
Right.
And Darlie's going to be quiet. She kept coming in there, and I told her, I was so hell-bent that she was innocent. I was like, look, if you say that again in here, I'm going to boot you. And she said, Darlie is guilty, and I booted her. Then she started messaging me.
Right.
And sending me to read, you know, and so I'm looking at it. She did not give up until I saw it clearly. And I'm like, okay, so I go over to my Darlie group, and I say, look, I can't support this anymore. I just can't do it. I said, I'm not going to mess with you guys. Best of luck to you. And I left it alone. I left it alone. They started coming after me the same way they do today. The same way that you did. All that shit. The same shit. No,
you started with me. Come on. Bryan, tell the truth, Bryan. You started. You started with me. Come on, Bryan. You started.
Actually, Terrell, I took a video of the chat from the very first time I met. For the very first time I said I would like to respectfully debate the case of Darlie Routie with you. That's how I met you. That's how I came in there.
Right.
And then then it's got your comments under it. Yours would be a little harsh, and then mine would be like, come on, man, with all that. And then yours would be a little harsh, and then you're like, he's the old man with COPD, and he's going to die, and all this. You started all the insults.
No, Bryan, that's not true. That's not. But hold on. You did open this can of. You opened that can of worms, right? And then you went to the females, like the old granny smelling pussy bitch that come over and try to help you out. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's so wrong,
man, fuck that old bitch. That bitch started with me first, and I wasn't even on her. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Fuck.
See how when you get mad,
I'm not being mad. I'm having fun for real. Fuck that SS bitch. That's what we gonna call her. We ain't even gonna call her by her name. Fuck that old bitch.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
You know who the fuck I'm talking about. Bryan, you can win. That bitch.
I honestly don't know who it was. That's why I told you. That's why I told you when you were screaming and hollering and stuff. And when you was going at it, I was like, okay, he's got a new channel. I said, you might want to take those down. You know, or put it on a channel you care about.
Man, fuck that. I didn't listen.
But I know that people. I honestly know that people are going to come report you.
And I didn't give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck.
Right, you told me you just started this channel. You got that other channel. You're cool.
Let's see. Round the ball. Real versus Bryan. Real versus Bitch and Bryan. I feel like you guys are classic together. Well, you know, me and Bryan possibly could do a podcast together. We possibly could do that, and I guarantee you, it will probably gain thousands and thousands of views. You know what I'm saying? You know, I would have to send Bryan a green screen so he can put a green screen up, and I can, you know, put him in the background.
I can do a green screen. I got one with a fishbowl. I can do it. I'm good at editing. I can edit.
Okay.
But, yeah. I was going to tell you that one day we was arguing, and I turned around and hit that keyboard, but I was afraid you might have been able to. I was afraid you might have went like, woo, woo. I was like, man. But the green screens are cool.
No doubt.
As far as Darlie, we may never see eye to eye on that, but that's okay. Mm-hmm. That means you still coexist if you disagree. You don't have to. You don't have to be, you know, I'm fuck you up and fuck you and everybody knows. You know, do that.
Listen, we're past that. You and I, we're past that. And you know, we got a truce, and all of the people who ride with me, they are part of that truce. All of them, like the Truth is a part of the truce. Serendipity is a part of the truce. Nene is a part of the truce. Come on. All of them is part of the truce. They all a part of it. No attacking them, and they ain't gonna attack you. You gotta leave them ladies alone. You gotta leave them alone.
And me and the truce, I'm gonna tell you something. We got this love-hate relationship.
And Hockey Mom is a part of that truce.
Nobody's gonna make us truce. It's not. It can't. Neither one of us are gonna listen to that. But she plays with me, and I play with her. And it's just most of the time it's just funny banter. She called me earlier today and I made a video about it.
Well, y'all playing. Okay. That's cool. Y'all playing. It's all good.
Yeah, for most of it is playing. Sometimes we get nasty with each other. Mm-hmm. But no, I don't hate her. But I call her on her shit. I'm in a different community than what you are. Right. I'm in a drama community. There has to be drama. It's got to be there.
No, I can't.
There's no way to lie. Sometimes it's fabricated. Sometimes it's bullshit.
Oh, I know this because when me and you was going at each other's throat, boy, everybody was loving that shit. Now
they like that. They like to see me argue. They like to see people argue. They didn't know where the fuck you came from. But they like to see that shit because I will argue with you. I mean, I will. I'll argue with you. Until neither one of us can talk. No more. That's it. I don't care. You don't care either. You don't fucking care either.
Not at all.
That's why we can't do this shit.
Nah. We
sooner or later, but look, the drama community is much different. Now, if Serendipity puts a video about me tomorrow, of course I'm going to fucking say something. But she really did put a real good video up the other day that I got to know her. And she said, I've been bullying Bryan. I have been bullying him. I admit it. She said, and I apologize for that. You can hear her say that.
The Truth said that? Truth, why would you? Who Truth said that she was bullying you?
No, Serendipity.
Serendipity. Why would you give Bryan that? Why would you give Bryan that?
I am gonna tell you what. She opened her soul to this community the other day, and I'm proud of her. She used to be a sub of mine.
Oh, Serendipity is cool people. I like Serendipity.
She's crazy in the damn head though. But she showed us a human part of why some people come to YouTube. Now, as much as I don't like that girl, as much as she fucked with me, that video that she put out the other day was fucking amazing. I think you said me first under it. But anyway, I was like, wow. I didn't know. I just knew her as this mean person, that keeps fucking with me. But now I know her as a person. So I commend her for that. I do. I don't like her. She don't like me. I commend her for that.
You like her, motherfucker. But you like her now because she came, clean, whatever, said she was bullying. You like that. You play the victim role, Bryan, at times. That's one thing I liked about because when me and you was going at it, you was playing the victim. You were playing the victim.
Come on, man.
You was playing the victim. I'm like, come on, why is he doing this? He's playing the victim.
When you talk shit about me, that's fine. But when you bring my kids, my family, come on, really?
Bryan, I'm the 50. I'm the 50 Cent of this.
When somebody comes on a video and they says, "Yes, I was bullying Bryan," that's not me playing victim. She just admitted that she was bullying me.
Okay, can I do?
And I would come back at her, and she'd come back at me, and it was as long as she don't fuck with me from this point on, I don't have nothing to say.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that would you say I was bullying you?
No, not really. You were talking shit to me. I don't think you were bullying. I was going back. Look, if it was just you bullying me, that would be me saying, okay, I don't want none of this, and then you coming to me and fucking with me and sending me shitty messages and calling. No, you weren't bullying me. You arguing with me.
Bryan, Bryan, you just don't know how close it was. I was like, God damn it, I'm finna get this motherfucker. He don't even know. I'm like, I'm finna get this motherfucker.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
I'm like, that motherfucker ain't gonna know when it's coming. I'm gonna get him. then we had that conversation. We had that conversation. That ended it all. So okay, we're gonna put this truce on the table, and that was a great conversation. We had about a good hour and a half conversation. It was cool.
Yeah, we've talked a couple times since then. But look,
most definitely.
I will tell you one thing: you may not have been bullying me, and you already gave an apology for this. I'm saying, but you were bullying my wife.
No,
had nothing.
No. But hold on now. You hold on. I'm gonna say this now. Your wife. She did, kind of get in the mix a little bit. So, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm the type you want to bring the wife involved? Let's do this.
She just said, no, I didn't bring her in. She just sitting there going, tell me to shut up. She was telling me to shut up. And then you started on her. You tell me shut up. I'll argue with you.
Well, it sounded, I ain't hear that, you know what I'm saying? But if, for all it's worth, if she felt that I was bullying her, I apologize for bullying her.
You did apologize to her, and I gave you props for that.
Most definitely. All right, good deal.
Yeah, but as far as Darlie goes, people can debate the case without getting into all that shit. It ain't about what, it ain't about color, it ain't about what you got, it ain't about what you're married to, it ain't about none of it. What you do, nothing. It's about, okay, you disagree, I disagree. Let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And we can agree to disagree and walk away.
Right.
But just like you have the right, just because you have the right to come on here and state the fact that Darlie is innocent. You got every right to do that. But you're also going to have people that are going to challenge that. And if you can learn, I can challenge it respectfully, or I can challenge it the way me and you did.
Okay.
Just like you're really strong that she's innocent, you got to understand there's people that is really strong that she's guilty, and they want to see her. Some people want to see her get the death penalty.
True.
I'll be happy if she never gets out. I mean, I'll be satisfied.
Oh, she's going to get out. Oh, she's going to get out. I hate to tell you, but she's going to get out.
It's good that you have a positive attitude like that because you're going to need it.
Yes, sir. Yes, she's going to get out, brother. I'm sorry, but she's getting out. She'll be home.
That's good. That's good for keeping the faith, but we've been hearing that for 22 years.
And hey, did you hear? Let me tell you a story, right? I'm going to tell y'all a story, ladies and gentlemen, about this gentleman here in Detroit. This dude served 25 years in prison for a rape he did not commit. And this dude kept his innocence to the day the Innocent Projects took his case up, and they found out that the DNA didn't belong to him. It belonged to a cop. It belonged to a cop.
You talking about Rodney Reed?
Oh no, right? No, we're talking about right here in Detroit. This is in Detroit.
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, I wasn't
listening. And the city had to pay this dude $1 million every year he sat in prison. $1 million for every year he sat there.
When I did my time, I was in with a guy, and when I was first at Max at the reception, the guy I was in got 42 years because they said that he jumped in this lady's car, molested her, cut her boobs, her nipples off, and set that car on fire. She did not die, but he still got 42 years. And for the first month, I kept hearing this guy, I'm innocent, I didn't do it, I'm innocent. That's all he would talk about was his case all day long. I'm innocent, I didn't do it. Until I finally said, dude, shut the fuck up. I can't even sleep. Right? I told her, I said, get this motherfucker out of here. I'm going to beat him down. Right? His name was Michael Bigelow, and they took him out of my cell. And I found out that in 2007, the DNA stuff, they proved that he was innocent, and they released that man. He was gone. He went on for months. That's all he ever said. I'm innocent. I didn't do this. I can't believe I'm in here. So I know that you're right. I know that I agree with you. They get it wrong. And
that's why I believe so strongly that Darlie is innocent. This is no lie. I honestly believe that she's innocent. And I believe that she should be free. And I honestly believe that Judge Toll right now, he's burning in hell. He's burning in hell right now for what he did to that young lady.
You gotta understand that Judge Toll was not the one who made the decision to find her guilty.
It doesn't matter. No, but he could have stopped that bullshit. He could have stopped it.
Well, no, it was Judge Francis that ruled on the tapes, the transcripts.
Listen, everybody who's involved with fucking that young lady in this case, their souls is required in hell.
I tell you, if you look up Judge Toll's his daughter, she killed herself, and I believe she killed her husband too. They had a kid. If you look up Judge Toll, yeah. But as far as him, as far as Judge Toll, he didn't. He just refereed that. And what he saw in the courtroom, she had a fair trial.
She didn't. No, she did not have a fair trial. No, she did not.
It was another judge who ruled on the transcripts, Francis, who ruled on the transcripts being
fucked up. All them transcripts was fucked up. I got it right here, and how another lady had to go in and could not actually correct all the shit because of all the mistakes that young lady lady made. All the mistakes.
Simmons, and Sandra Halsey was the first stenographer.
Yeah, she fucked it up. Fucked that up, man.
Yeah, she sure did. She made three errors per page for a total of about 33,000 pages, which is it's not very typical. She made big mistakes like yes. And no. She did admit that she thought that Darlie was guilty. She actually got she was going to go to jail. She got charged with it, and she lost her job to it. But when Simmons reconstructed the tapes, she reconstructed the tapes through audio of what people were actually saying, and she didn't get any mistakes wrong. There was no mistaking it because she actually had the audio tapes. That's why the judge ruled that she had a verbatim transcript that her new attorney, Stephen Cooper, could defend her with because of the audio. If they didn't have the audio and then they say, oh, these transcripts are all right, I'd be like, no, that shit ain't cool.
No.
But they had the audio. They had the audio.
Yeah.
They had a complete recording. Now, that's why when you guys say that the transcript's messed up, we can argue easily because it is proof that the audio actually fixed it. I mean, that's even old-time supporters don't support the audio being wrong or the transcripts being wrong anymore.
You're right.
Because of the audio. Honestly.
Well, Bryan, me and you, we're gonna have to hook up once a week and do something. You and I just gonna have to hook up once a week and do a show. What you think about that, Bryan?
All right.
You think because I think me and you we're a good combination, good 1-2 punch.
Yeah, as long as we can get along with each other, because sometimes you get heated.
Motherfucker, me and you been getting along since we set our differences aside and had our truce.
Yeah. I talked to you just about every day since then.
Yes, you have. You ain't talked to me today because I was real busy today, so we ain't get a chance to chop it up today. But no.
Yeah, and I thought that Gibby would be here tonight.
No, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Yeah. Now tomorrow I got a balloon. They're giving a balloon release for a murder victim here in my town, Sierra Wood Fork, and I'm gonna go out there and support their family.
Good deal, Bryan. Bryan is the man. He's going to support the people. Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, especially when it's in your hometown. This woman, her boyfriend killed her, put her in a closet, then he put her in a freezer, and they threw her in a dumpster. And 6 days later, they found her. And she has disabilities and everything else. And I feel bad for the family. So my videos are up. I want to go out there and talk to them about it. If something happens in my town, I definitely want to be there.
Oh, no doubt, most definitely. I mean, you got to do what you got to do and make it happen. You 100% right.
But I should be back here. I should be back here by 9 o'clock. And I'm looking forward to debating with you.
You are? I like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Huh?
You hear yourself?
What's that?
What's what?
What I do?
What do you mean? What do you do? You hear?
I said I'm looking forward to debating with you.
Oh, that's coming tomorrow, most definitely. I thought you heard the echoing on the thing because I got this. I'm playing with this new mixing board I got.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It got a lot of new cool.
What do you got? Is that a Yeti Silver, your mic?
Huh?
That's not a Yeti. What is that mic you got?
It's a MX something. It was gifted. It cost $165.
Yeah, I got the Yeti Blue. It looks like that one.
No, it's not the Yeti. It's somebody said, "Oh, Jack in the Box microphone, BX, you wish."
No, that's nice. That's why I was saying that's a nice one. I like that spit guard right there.
Oh yeah,
the metal spit.
Oh yeah, this is. It's beautiful. It's real beautiful. Like I said, it was a gift, and I thank the person who gave it to me. It was a beautiful gift. It was given to me. Because, they say, I saw you, they say, oh, you doing this shit and you serious with it. I got like about 8 microphones like this. So, just for like when I got guests in the building with me,
Yeah. Is there any other crime cases or current events or even cultural issues? That'd be good. Cultural issues would be good if people can get along to discuss them.
Yeah, I did four interviews this week with a couple gentlemen in prison, and so I'm getting ready to release those coming out. Like I said, I got these interviews and I got to start getting them ready for the podcast. What
do you do? Get them to just call you? You get them to call you, or are you able to go out there?
No, I get them to call me. Like I said, I got a press pass, and certain ones I got to go through. Like this here in Michigan, I found out I have to jump through hoops to get that done, but that's no problem. It can get done.
Have you ever looked at the Robert Reed case out of Texas?
Yeah, I looked a little bit at it because they was talking about Kim Kardashian and everybody, was on this case real tough. So yeah, I'm finna start looking into it. I might drop him a line or something and see what's up.
Well, he's on a 120-day stay right now. He's probably used up about maybe 21 or 20, maybe 4 weeks of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I kind of believe that he's innocent, but his case is real controversial too.
And where is he locked up at?
He's in Texas. He's in Texas. I don't know exactly which prison it is.
Well, no, I can find that out, but he's on death row, so he can't have any telephone calls, no internet or anything. So I would have to write him a letter.
Yeah, he gets a lot of people that are able to use their media to get in there and speak to him. Mm. I might have a direct link to his mama for you.
Oh, that'd be beautiful. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah, but the bad thing is, and then there's another one that I know of is Mark Clements, who has been exonerated. He's served a lot of time in prison. Mm-hmm. But I'll try and talk to them and see what's going on. But I hope that they don't execute Rodney.
No, I hope not too. If he's innocent,
he's guilty of some other crime.
I'm gonna dig into that shit tonight. I'm gonna look at it and check it out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hold on a second. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we done gave you guys 1 hour and 35 fucking minutes. And it was beautiful talking to you guys for 1 hour and 35 minutes. But I gotta go because I'm finna go watch Power. And Power is on, on demand, the new episode. And I'm finna watch that tonight and pass the fuck out. And it was... Go ahead.
I don't mean to cut you off, but they had a good Chris Watts movie come on Lifetime today at 8 o'clock.
Oh, yeah?
It goes over the whole Chris Watts case.
Yeah. I'm going to have to check that out.
Even though you only got 12 people viewing this, I know you're going to get a lot of them. If you change the name to what we actually spoke about, and people will come and view it, and you'll be more popular as a Darlie supporter, speaking up for her innocence. If you put my name in it, they'll definitely come. I'm sure as far as Darlie goes, they want to see if we mean you got in a fight or whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna change the name to semi debate.
You can just put it. What we did is we discussed it.
Like,
oh man,
yeah.
They know I got pissed off.
You're right.
One moron got put out there. One moron. You said moron to somebody. What me?
Who?
Somebody.
Man, I'm not talking about no. No.
Yeah, look at that smile. Yeah, but if you put Darlie into your discussion, people come and look at it, and you'll get known as someone that is going to put the facts as they see them about her innocence out there. And people will come to you and get the information and help you out, man.
Oh, most definitely.
But you would probably come off a little bit better if you, even though you're aggressive, you'd probably come off a little bit better if you wouldn't let people get to you.
Who? Ain't nobody get to me. I'm good.
Now, if somebody starting on you right now, you're going to raise all kinds of hell with
them. No, not at all.
Yeah, you're all right. You're all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I look forward to seeing it tomorrow night.
Oh, no.
That's what I'll do. I look forward to seeing that tomorrow night and Gibby will be up there. I know Gibby's studying.
No, she don't need no studying.
Yeah, all right, I'm going to take off, man. And you go get some rest of your neck.
All right, now, Bryan. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, peace.
All right, peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That went pretty well. Pretty well. Yeah, there we go. Save that. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I had great conversation with you guys. You know, that was a great little discussion that Bryan and myself had. And, you know, it's always a pleasure having you guys in, commenting. And we all keep it respectful. We kept it respectful. And all is good. And I most definitely want to thank Rich Prater for riding this all the way out with us tonight. And everybody, go subscribe to Mr. Prater. You got to go subscribe to him immediately. And, you know, all is good over here. And Todd, my guy, you my guy, Todd. And I want to say to the lady, young lady, I appreciate you. Even though you're not a Darlie supporter, I appreciate you because you have always, from day one, I got to give you your props. You have been nothing but the utmost respect and nice to me from day one. When you emailed me, it was all love. You didn't get back to me, though, but you said you was going to get back to me. But you did say you're going to get with me tonight. That's all that mattered, and I believe you. And the rest is history. And peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Power is calling my name. I'm out.